Picture this. It's Monday afternoon in Washington, D.C. The humidity is absolutely suffocating. And inside the William H. Fitzgerald Tennis Center at Rock Creek Park, 20-year-old Alex Eala from Manila, Philippines, is about to pull off something so ridiculous, so flat-out unbelievable, that every single Filipino flag in those stands is about to go absolutely ballistic. Game, set, match. 6-love in the third. She just won the last 9 games in a row. 9 straight games in a WTA 500 final. And the place completely loses its mind. Now, here's the thing that makes this story absolutely wild. While Eala is out there rewriting history and grabbing a champion check worth $252,000, roughly 15.4 million Philippine pesos, the woman sitting atop the WTA rankings, Sabalenka, is nearly 700 miles away in Toronto, telling reporters she just wants to get completely drunk, forget about tennis, and try to get herself in better shape. Let that sink in for a second. One player is having the breakthrough of her life, and the other is trying to drown the memory of a rough summer. The contrast is almost too perfect to be real. But to really get why this moment hit so hard, you gotta rewind 24 hours to Sunday night. Heavy rain rolls across the stadium, and they pull the covers on the championship match right in the middle of things. At that point, Jessica Pegula is in total control. She's up 6-4, 4-3, one solid service game away from ending Eala's fairy tale run and handing her yet another brutal runner-up finish. And for Eala, that feeling? It wasn't new. Not even close. Back at Eastbourne in 2025, she had 4 championship points in her hands and watched every single one of them evaporate before losing a devastating third-set tiebreak. She walked off that court in tears. That ghost was sitting right next to her on the bench Sunday night, whispering the same cruel question. Is this really happening again? Meanwhile, 700 miles north in Toronto, Sabalenka was dealing with her own demons. She'd skipped Washington entirely after losing in straight sets to Naomi Osaka at Wimbledon and chose to prep for the Canadian Open instead. Speaking to reporters, the 4-time Grand Slam champion got remarkably honest. She said, quote, "I have huge hopes," before adding, "I suffered during the summer swing a lot with my body and mentally also a little bit." The world number 1, openly talking about rebuilding her confidence, searching for rhythm, trying to find herself again. It was vulnerable. It was real. And it set the stage for the most stunning contrast the sport had seen all summer. Now, back in D.C., Eala's road to that final was honestly one of the most jaw-dropping runs you'll see all season. She opened by taking down Olympic gold medalist Zheng Qinwen in 3 sets. Then she knocked out defending champion Leylah Fernandez in a round of 16. Quarterfinals? She dismantled second seed Alina Svitolina, a former world number 3 and Wimbledon semifinalist, 6-3, 6-4. Then the semifinal threw 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka at her. The same Osaka who had just beaten Sabalenka at Wimbledon. And Eala handled that too. By the time she stepped onto the court for the final, she'd already eliminated 4-seeded players. An Olympic gold medalist, a défending champ, a former top 3 player, one of the biggest names in the sport. That's not a lucky draw. That's a statement. So when Monday hit and the covers finally came off at 2 p.m., everyone expected Pegula to close it out. She was the world number 3. She'd already been a 3-time finalist in 2026. The momentum was hers. Except it wasn't. Not anymore. Eala came out and absolutely demolished everything in her path. She swept the final 3 games of the second set, then rolled through the third without dropping a single game. Pegula managed just 8 points, 8, in the entire deciding set. The final score, officially logged by the WTA, 4-6, 6-4, 6-love. Complete and total demolition. And here's what gets me. In the post-match press conference, Eala talked about the rain delay like it was nothing. She said, "I warmed up 1,000 times. It was difficult. Rain delays a lot of times in my life. I think this is just kind of another one of those, although it was a lot higher stakes. A WEA championship final, the ghost of Eastbourne breathing down her neck, and she calls it just another one of those. You can't teach that kind of composure. That's forged through years of getting knocked down, and choosing to stand back up. Standing at the microphone with the trophy, she got even more honest. At the beginning of the week, there is no way I would have thought I'd be holding this trophy. These things kind of creep up on you, and I hold these moments really close to me. Then she dropped the line that summed up her entire journey. I think I ended the tournament in better shape than I started. That wasn't about fitness. That was about everything. The heartbreak, the doubt. The Miami Open just 4 months earlier where Karolina Muchova hung a 6-love, 6-2 loss on her. All of it. She carried it in, and she walked out a completely different player. What makes this even more special is that Sabalenka saw it coming. In an April 2025 interview with ABS-CBN's Diane Castillo, the world number one openly praised Eala's future, making it clear she believed the young Filipina had what it takes to compete at the very highest level. That wasn't a polite compliment. That was the best player on the planet scouting a future rival more than a year before this breakthrough happened. DC Open chairman Mark Ein told Sportico that Eala's matches generated exceptional ticket demand all week long. Fans weren't just showing up for the established names anymore. They were packing the stands to watch a 20-year-old left-hander from Manila announce herself to the world. That kind of buzz, you can't manufacture it. You earn it. And the impact doesn't stop in D.C. The tour shifts north to the National Bank Open in Toronto, then Cincinnati, then the U.S. Open at Flushing Meadows, where Eala is now expected to compete as a Grand Slam seed for the very first time in her career. Just 19 months ago, she was ranked number 168. Now she's a WTA 500 champion, sitting inside the top 32 with a target on her back. Every draw from here on out has to account for her name. Every top player knows she can beat anyone when she's locked in. So here's the question everyone's asking right now. If the draw eventually sets up a showdown between Sabalenka and Eala in Toronto, who walks away with it? Does the experienced world number one remind everyone why she's still on top? Or does the fearless 20-year-old keep riding the most unbelievable week of her career? Drop your prediction in the comments because this debate is just getting started. And if you want every update from Toronto to Cincinnati to the U.S. Open, stick around because what Alex Eala did in Washington wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a hot streak. It might be the opening chapter of a brand new era in women's tennis. And trust me, you're going to want a front row seat for what comes next.